Okay, what I've watched so far of Black Clover is quite good. When it started off, obviously it was like a little bit slow. Um, but I've just finished watching episode, what was it, 20? When Asta, Yuna, Noel, and the red-headed lass, and Four Eyes as they call him, was invited to this public thing with the Wizard King. I like that Asta is sticking up for Noel because there was a whole thing where I'm thinking the family members of Noel. What they did was they were kind of looking down on her as if to say, "How dare you?" Da 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 da. Kind of basically because I'm thinking it's because obviously because they're blaming her for the death of their mum. And with these shown in anime, it probably wasn't her fault because I mean, look at Bleach when Ichigo's mum died because Ichigo's mum was saving Ichigo from Grand Fisher, the big huge monster thing. But anyway, back to Black Clover. Um, it's kind of nice though that Asta did a Luffy and just basically stood up for Noel. What I mean by him doing a Luffy was he stood on the table and the other Magic Knights, the douchebags as I call them, they tried to stop him with magic, but then he pulled out his anti-magic sword and went and sliced through it. And he's like, "Do you think I give a about what you think?" Da, 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 da. Then he basically said that I would become the Wizard King through like results and that, meaning that Asta could very well become the Wizard King because of all the good stuff that he's doing. Um, but I like though that they're hinting at Asta going with Noel later on because he stood up for her and said he grabbed her arm and he says, "Don't run away from people like this." If I can remember rightly what he said. And which is good because what he's actually teaching Noel is something like in real life. You don't run away from folk that are dissing you. You stand your ground. That's what he was trying to say to her. But because she's kind of one of these stereotypical uh, ladies in anime, that they portray them like poor defenceless little royal chicks that are like so far up their own arse that they see everyone as commoners. I'm surprised that those people that have been on the obviously on the news, well the anime news, for what they did to that Broly actor. I've never kind of hanging with this because it's not hanging with. It's like everyone's equal, men and women. But I'm good that they've not brought this that kind of politics into this anime, because to be quite honest, the day that that group of people decide to spoil Black Clover, I don't think a lot of us will be happy, because it's meant to be make believe and not real. I mean, I love a good story, as most as another person, but when you start to bring real world politics into it, it's just not right at all. But anyway, I like where this is going with this arc because it was a cute wee scene before this episode that I watched, or in the episode that I watched. Um, the Wizard King actually asked to hold one of Asta's second anti magic swords, and he was like, "Clunk! Well, I can't actually hold this. Oh, da 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 da." And the Wizard King immediately knew it was an anti magic sword for some strange reason because obviously he's been around. And it's also the scene before that where Asta held his book up, his grimoire up to the Wizard King, and he goes, "Can you read this?" And he's like, "No, I can't read it." And I'm like, I bet the Wizard King could read it, and he did see something that he didn't want to mention, kind of hinting at later episodes of Black Clover, when we'll probably find out about what the writing is in Asta's grimoire. I've got a fair idea what it might be, but I'm just waiting to see if it's actually that. And I know that some of you out there have probably watched the future episodes of Black Clover, and you know what exactly the writing is in Asta's grimoire. I know myself because I'm kind of spoiled it for myself because I looked forward to see what it is, but I'm actually wanting to see it on the screen rather than in the book form, like the week to week book form. And also a nice wee touch is they call it episodes, like episode 20 or episode 21. That's what I call it, but in the anime they actually go page 21, page 20, because I keep forgetting that it's one big book that they're flinging it from, they've adapted it from. But I mean, long story short, good on Asta for standing up to those high entitled assholes from the other groups and standing up for Noelle. I mean, if that doesn't get Noelle to properly fancy Asta, then I don't know what will. But then you've got the other lassie with the red hair from the Golden Dawn that absolutely adores him as well. So I can see a love triangle between those three coming up later on. So I mean, as ever, that's been my review of Black Clover so far. And like I said, I'm away to watch episode 21. It looks like it's all about the kick off between Asta and these people that have been having a go at Noelle. So yeah, onwards to the future episodes.